Radio Raheem here with Johnny Nelson. You know what time it is. We've all had the talking. Everyone's had their opinion. Now we're going to find out the facts. Johnny always comes with the straight skinny. I need to know behind the scenes what we don't know about this fight.
Listen, this is a fight. I tell you what I liked yesterday. I liked the fact that Anthony Joshua looked a little bothered that he just didn't want to be there. You know, and that's at this stage of a fight, when it's a few days before the fight, you don't want to be a Mr. Nice Guy. He just didn't want to accommodate the smiles and the laughter. He got in the ring, did as minimum workout as possible, and got out of there. I think he's just had enough now. He just wants to fight. Even up there today on stage, he's thinking, you know what, I've got to do this, but I just want to fight. I'm happy I've now seen that, because before, when we had these guys together, it was like tutor and student. AJ was very accommodating. He was very, very polite towards Wladimir. And Wladimir was kind of in a way trying to talk down to him. But now I just think I can see how this fight will change as the first bell goes. When it gets to 1 minute past 10 and the bell goes, you're going to see two completely different characters. Vladimir's trying to be his mate, laughing and joking and being all smart with him and clever with him, as though we're the best of friends. And Anthony's saying, yeah, I'm smart, but both guys behind the eyes are thinking, I'm going to mess you up. And that's what you want. And you could see that, so it was a nice feeling.
I saw the exact same thing, and it's interesting that you put it in that frame, because I wondered to myself, when a fighter starts to make that transition, it's the first time I've ever seen Joshua not like on his game with the smiles, shaking hands with the fans, everything. Yeah. Is that a good transition further down in their career, or is it something you got to come back from?
This is perfect, because this is serious. The only thing you can't play, only sport you can't play is boxing. You can't play this game. So this is serious, and AJ knows he has to be a roughhouse doghouse when the bell goes. From when the bell goes, he needs to bully Wladimir. He needs to make Wladimir thinking, man, I hope this doesn't last too long. Every minute of every round, he needs to keep under pressure. And I'm not saying just run there recklessly throwing punches. I mean, make this guy think, make him work, make him use his footwork, make him use his energy, make that energy level drop down and hit him. And when AJ lands with one shot, that will tell us, that will give us a pattern of this fight, because then we'll know if AJ's power is enough to make Wladimir think, I better back off here. I need to think about what I'm doing here. And so that's why it's a story of two fights. The first half of the fight, I would say AJ hands down. AJ hands down. The second half of the fight, I would say Wladimir hands down, because the second half you're depending on skill. The first half you're depending on speed, accuracy, power, youth, pace. That's all those things that Anthony's got. The only thing he hasn't got is experience and wisdom, what Vladimir's got. And that's ringcraft. You know, the ringcraft that Vladimir's got, if you measure it on that, Wladimir wins hands down. So that's why I'm saying it's a story of two halves. So you'll ask many people what they think to give a definitive answer. They can't, because this fight is too hard to call.
We've seen the young lion in many stories try to grow into his own, become the man. Every kid in every sport dreams of that moment. But when we got the old lion in Wladimir Klitschko, who this fight, I mean, is live or die in the sports sense. Yep. This fight is the end of his career if he gets bested, especially if he gets stopped.
I think it's the end of his career anyway. I think win or lose, he walks away.
So with that said, how much does that kind of stakes, and for a champion who's reigned for over 10 years, his brother ringside, his pride on the line, how much does that count towards his ability to maybe do more than his body physically should?
Listen, I'm telling you now, if he wasn't willing to put everything on the line Saturday night, this fight wouldn't be happening. If he couldn't motivate himself to get up at stupid o'clock in the morning to go for a run and train for so many months on end, this fight wouldn't be happening. There's too much at stake. He can't afford two back-to-back losses, you know, because when you get wiser, when you get smarter, what happens is when you've got young guys that have got a great pace, you know more than them, but your body won't give you that pace. They won't give you that energy. It won't give you that time. So you get a little frustrated. So you don't want to put yourself in a position where you get embarrassed. So therefore, what he has to do, you know, Vladimir's got to go in there hungry. For the first time in over 11 years, he's going in there as a challenger. It's not until the fight gets hard then he realises how much he really wants it, because he's a millionaire. He don't need to do this, but pride's at stake, and that's what's most important.
7 days later at Stateside. I'm going to run you through two fights. We don't have to break down time, so I need predictions. Canelo Chavez Jr.
Oh, my God. I would go for Canelo. A knockout.
By knockout?
By knockout.
Ward Kovalev, 2.
I'm going Kovalev. And I'm a Ward fan, but I'm going Kovalev.
Radio Raheem with Johnny Nelson. We know it's fight time. These guys are going to step in the ring any minute when I'm talking to this man. I can't wait to see you Saturday night. There at Wembley Stadium. Radio Raheem with Johnny
You're going to
Nelson.
have a Cockney accent by the time you leave, you know that.
That's my goal.
It's going to be one of us.
I want to be local.
A black Cockney.